Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max and David are here. They're nice. Guys, you guys have been Everton supporters for quite some time. So usually when we do a Remember Me video, I tend to lean on your experience and expertise. But in this Remember Me video, I know something about this player. All right, I actually bring something to the table, which is so rare here. But you guys, believe it or not, I actually never watched him when he played for Everton. Okay, so let me quickly run down this guy's career. Oh, by the way, we're talking about Landon Donovan. I'm just gonna say it. It's on. It's you knew. It's in the description. You knew. So apparently in 1999 he was with Bayer Leverkusen. All right, he started with their younger team. They moved up to the senior team. And between 2001 and 2004, he was loaned out to the San Jose Earthquakes. For them, he had 87 appearances and 32 goals during that little span. Then he moved to the LA Galaxy, where he was there from 2005 to 2014. All right. Now, some of those years he was on loan. We'll talk about that in a minute. But for the Galaxy, he had 253 appearances and 113 goals. All right, which is solid.
Good return.
Oh yeah. In 2009, he was loaned to Bayern Munich. That happened, which also is kind of awesome. He only had 6 appearances and no goals, but it happened. 2010, he was with the Blues. Huzzah! All right, didn't have a lot of goals, but he had two good ones. All right, played pretty well. And then he went back to LA, and then he came back to Everton in 2012. He ended up with 7 appearances and actually had 7 assists, I think. Not quite as stellar of a second run, I think, as the first one. And there was a time where we actually wanted to make it permanent, I believe. But LA Galaxy was like, nope, we need him. So then in 2015, he retired. No kidding. He retired, but then he came back. Played for the LA Galaxy for a year, and then he retired again in 2017. And then guess what? He unretired again. Now plays with León in Mexico. He's got 6 appearances, no goals yet, but he's playing, and I think it's great. All right, so guys, really quick thoughts on Landon Donovan when he played for Everton. Who wants to start? David, you want to start? Max has been starting lately.
It's funny, even with a fairly solid CV, before he come, I only knew him as the guy who fell out with David Beckham while at LA Galaxy. I don't know if you remember that, but I think he made a few comments about kind of Beckham getting all the headlines at LA Galaxy. But then he come and I thought he was fantastic. Like I really fell in love with him. He's one of these players that would never seem to be fantastic at one particular thing, but he's just an all-round good player. He come in and had an instant impact. I can't remember I don't know if he scored on his debut. Maybe I'm getting carried away there, but I just remember him playing really well. And he just had such a good spell with us. And then obviously he come again, played well again, and everybody was hoping we could get him on a permanent. It didn't work out. But I love that he really embraced the club. I had him on Twitter, and although it was going back a few years, obviously you got to see the kind of things he was saying and doing at the time. And I remember him dressing as young kids in Everton kits, even when he'd gone back over to LA, and he just really fell in love with Evertonians in Goodison Park. And I mean that's what it's all about. Everton fans love nothing more than that type of character, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, but I think with Landon Donovan, he was one of those players who got it, But I think I remember one of his first comments where I think it was to Tim Howard when he said, they've given me the number 9 shirt. So straight away he kind of understood the responsibility that was put on his shoulders, and then going back to what David said earlier, he seemed to be one of these all rounders, which I think fitted in with the kind of industrial nature of the Moyes side at the time. I think we played them predominantly down round the right hand side, And if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure his first game was that game against Arsenal in the snow away at the Emirates where Pienaar got the chip. I might be going out on a limb with that one, but I think that might have been his first appearance, and I think he played absolutely brilliantly. I don't think he scored, but I just remember him saying one of his first things he said was, flying over from LA, sunny beaches. First thing he landed in England, and it was covered in snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. I know people will be watching it screaming at us saying it was this game or it
Yeah.
wasn't this game.
Yeah.
So I apologise in advance. I know if that wasn't his first game, it was certainly one of the first games.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I thought his debut was Goodison, but I just can't remember. But I just remember being really impressed with him.
Yeah, U.S. national team, he had 157 appearances with 57 goals. Okay, I was really kind of agitated. No, I was agitated. I was kind of pissed when he retired. He had another falling out. So I guess he's fallen out with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But with Klinsmann. Yeah,
Mm.
he when you hear interviews with him, he's direct and he states his opinion and he's kind of blunt at times. There are times where I don't like his bluntness and I wish he wasn't as direct, but that's his style. That's actually the way he plays as well.
Mm.
He plays very direct. He's slashes through incisive passes. He's a direct player, and he's smart. He knows where to be to get the goals. I think the goal that I think of when I think Landon Donovan is his goal against Algeria in the World Cup. He's had some famous goals for U.S. national team, and the real shame is that he is still playing right now, and he's, you know what I mean, and he could have been, it's a shame when you think here's this guy who's iconic, maybe taking it a bit far for U.S. soccer, but he was our best player for many years.
I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I was just going to say, you mentioned that is playing for Leverkusen and for playing for Munich. Again, that kind of reinforces the German-American connection. We were talking about Pulisic earlier, but I feel that during that time period, Landon Donovan really was the poster boy for US soccer. And I don't think
Stuart Holden, wasn't there? They were kind of internationals over in the Premier League, because you remember Stuart Holden was at Bolton when he was still a Premier League side before he had that leg break. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think you're far-fetched there at all calling him iconic. I think he certainly was.
Yeah, he's just one of those. I think about him and I immediately am thinking, oh, what could have been, because he is a smart player, and he could have adapted his game kind of the way Rooney has adapted his game, a little bit in the way Clint Dempsey has started to adapt his game, passing more, getting his head up more, not trying to outrun people, trying to play with their brain and with their vision. They already were smart players, but just kind of depend on that more. You get more longevity out of your career when you do that. And I think he could have done that. I haven't watched him play for Leon yet, although I do watch Mexican League games. I'm a nerd, and they're fun.
What you doing watching football, Gerry? You watch Bundesliga, the Premier League, Mexican League, American League.
I've watched CONCACAF Champions League. They come on at like 10 p.m. at night on the Spanish language channel here, and I watch them with the Spanish language. It's just great. They have like the best commentators. They're amazing. They like never stop speaking. It's brilliant, and I do understand some of it. Believe it or not, 12 years of Spanish, I better. So, but yeah, I haven't watched him play yet. I was really psyched. I thought it was a bold move. It's such a bold move to say, you know what, I'm going to come back, and I'm not going to come back in a comfort zone. I'm going to go over here.
Is he still involved with the board at Swansea? Do you know?
I thought he was.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything new about that.
Yeah, not too sure.
There's some strange board at Swansea connections.
Yeah.
And if you want an even stranger list, this is a little off topic, but look at the new LAFC team, the MLS team. Look at their list of owners sometime. All right? It's just so many famous names you would not believe it. Like film producers, actors. Will Ferrell's on that list. by the way. Yeah, no kidding. Swansea is not quite as ridiculous in terms of their personnel and their owners list. But yeah, he's on there. So anyway, but he's one of those. I kind of got angry when he was gone. So I'm glad he's back, but he's not going to play for the national team anytime soon, no matter who the manager is. He's just older, and right now the U.S. team is like, we need them to be 18 or less, because it's going to be another 4 years. So, if you could compare him to a current Everton player, is there anybody at all?
I hate that question.
Oh no!
I always do it because I like it. I don't know why. It's fascinating.
Seamus Coleman. I know it's
high up pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Interesting. That was not one I would have guessed. Wow.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Who would you compare him to, Gerry? You're going to say Nias?
No. I think he's way more skilled than Nias.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's got a lot better vision than Nias.
The eyebrows go, and I thought, not Nias.
No. The problem is I don't really have much of an answer. That's the issue, you know? I mean, I see him a little bit of... No, I don't think he's that good at taking on a man as Ademola Lookman. You know what I mean? And he's not quite as quick, but he is quick. You know? And I think he's maybe got better vision than Lookman right now. I'm trying to think of a small wing/center player who actually, you know, I don't think Sigurdsson matches. It's just tough. No. You know, yeah. I was trying to think of a forward-based player, kind of like a Walcott, but he doesn't have the speed of Walcott.
No,
take the speed away from Walcott, and it's very close to Landon Donovan, actually. You know, because he doesn't have the power of Velocity, he doesn't have the power of the ball as a Vlasic. Yeah, I mean, I'm running out of players here, guys. You know, because as far as being like a number 10 character, we don't have a 10 that really plays like him.
No,
you know, Davies doesn't play like him because Davies isn't really a 10, but he's sort of playing like it now.
Yeah, he was like a winger for those, really, Donovan.
Yeah.
So he's a strange character in terms of where you play him. You know, he's got the vision of a 10, but the skill set of a winger. So yeah, it's weird. Dang, I didn't think you'd turn that around on me. I was gonna trust you guys' insight on that one. And so, as far as your favorite U.S. players, how does he rank? U.S. Everton players.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah.
In terms of longevity, I'd still give it Howard, because although it turned sour with Howard, he still gave us a lot of service, and he was another one who really fell in love with the club. But yeah, he's up there, definitely. He's probably in there after Howard for me.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit too young to be saying Joe Maxmore or
Brian McBride.
I think I've got my own personal reason, because I've met Tim Howard several times, and he's one of the nicest men in football that I've ever met. So, but Tim Howard definitely top of that list, but Landon Donovan close second.
Yeah.
The closest I've come to Tim Howard was when I went to the national team game in Columbus, and I was about 20 rows up, and I took a picture, and he was like a little tiny dot. Couldn't even see him. I had to like zoom in for anybody to see it. That's the closest I've been to Tim Howard. So, yes, more envy. Yeah, can't help it. I'd say Tim Howard as well. I agree. Agreed. And I don't think he should have been starting the last 2, maybe 3 years that he was at Everton. I was just screaming for someone else to get an opportunity. I guess Martinez owed him money or just was in love with him. You know what I mean?
He was grossly mismanaged towards the end of his Everton career.
Yeah, I didn't think that was too fair for him. Tim Howard, though, if you take like 30 shots on game at him, he'll be great.
Yeah,
he'll be great. You know, but 1 or 2 shots on game, that's where he was struggling. He didn't have the same. He almost needs his concentration to link to his explosive, instincts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that's all for our. And we were talking about Tim Howard. Now it's Landon Donovan who we're talking about, actually. So that's it for our Landon Donovan segment. If you are liking the videos, you're just nice. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe. We're really close to 600. and that puts us on the really good side, getting close to 1,000, because that's our goal for this season. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Still a good goal. Check out these guys' analysis. They have it on the Toffee Blues website. David also writes for the Sportsman, and that's all I have. No more videos. So guys, thanks so much. I'll be talking to you later. Bye.